walk on your bitch like a horn. That pussy acting like a dinosaur. Hop in the cool ride with me. Suck on the deep, made it out of poverty. If you my beast, then you are my property. I'm on you, ain't talking monopoly. You like me, cause I like you. Get to know you, why I would lie to you. Let the big ride, I can fly you to an island on a
YouTube, what it do, baby? It's your boy Kong, and I'm back with another banger. So today, I've been gone for about a week or two, maybe 3. I don't even know. I've been gone for a while. Hold on. I've been gone for a while, but this video, I'm gonna be letting y'all know what happened the other day. So the other day, as y'all seen by the title, you clicked on this video for a reason, not a season. I'm gonna be telling y'all what happened. So the other day, I almost got in a fight with Karen's husband. If y'all remember Karen from the fireworks video that made us go, that was yelling, getting mad because we were shooting fireworks, even though everyone in the neighborhood was shooting fireworks. So her husband had, I'm about to get straight to it. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Let's go on with the video. It's scary. Alright, so look. Long story short, school's over, right? They canceled practice, so I come home. My boy dropped me off, and I come in the house. I had texted my brother. I'm like, yo, leave the door unlocked so I can get in, because they canceled practice. My sister had my key, because I didn't know practice was gonna be canceled. So I text my brother. I'm like, yo, leave the front door unlocked. So I walked through the front door, and then I closed it, locked it. Then I worked into my garage and worked out. Since football practice was canceled, I worked out, turned on my music, started lifting, punching a punching bag. I was doing my normal stuff. And then I see the bus come through my garage. I see the top of the bus. That's my sister's bus. I see the top of it come, so I'm like, okay, let me open the garage, let her in. I opened the garage, but by the time I opened the garage, she had already got in, because remember, she has my key. She had already got in through the front door. So I'm like, I walked out, I looked through I turned into the front door and it's already closed, so I'm like, okay, she already got in. So I went and closed the garage. And as the garage is closing, I see some grown man running full speed at my house, like as if I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. So he's running, so I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So I'm not gonna reopen the garage, because what if he got a gun and then he shoot me, or he got a weapon, he take me out. Now everything in the garage he has access to, plus the door in the garage is unlocked to the house, so he could have easily got in there, took my sister out, took my dog out, did all that. So I let the garage close. I'm like, wait a minute. I unplugged my phone. I'm unplugging my phone so I can record it. So I'm like, wait a minute. I walked out the front door, and then I started recording with my phone, and I'm like, yo, what's good? I'm like, yo, like, you running up to my crib like this is your house, like something's going on that you need to be worried about. And he yells, he's like, you call me a bitch? I'm like, huh? I'm like, yo, when did that come in? And then he's like, oh, that's that. So I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, I'll show y'all the video in the end. But I'm just like, yo, what's good? And he's just like, yo, this is that. And then so I'm like, yo, what you trying to do? I'm like, for real, what you trying to do? Because, like, I'm not with all the talking. Like, first off, you run up to my crib with my sister in it, me in it, and stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, what you trying to do? This, that. He's over here acting all hard. And mind you, he's a grown man. He got gray beard and all that. He got gray beard hairs coming in. I'm only 17. So I'm like, yo, like, what's up with all the I'm not with all the talking. I'm like, what you trying to do? And he's talking about something. You think this is the hood? Huh? The hood? when did that come in? He's like, you think this is a hood? You think this is the hood? Like, this is that? I'm like, yo, I ain't with the talking. I don't think this is the hood. And then he was like, I was like, I forgot what I said. I was like, throw their hands or something like that. And he was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm like, bro, what do you mean? What does that mean? Everyone knows what throw their hands mean. And I'm just like, yo, whatever, bro. So as I'm walking back to my house, like, okay, this dude don't want it. As I'm walking back to the house, he walks back up as if he's walking back up to my crib. So I'm like, whoa. You ain't gonna finna walk back after I walk away. Cause when I was up here, you was walking that way, back to your house. And then as I walk back to my house, you coming back. It don't work like that. So I'm like, okay. So my sister's standing at the door like, so I'm like, here, record this. And she starts recording, and I walk back. I'm like, yo, what you trying to do? I square up. I'm like, yo, what you trying to do? Square up. I'm standing at the end of my driveway, because mind you, if he steps on my property, on my driveway, it's done. But he ain't never stepped, and he getting in a wrestling stance like this. Mind you, I wrestle, so you don't like that. So he getting his wrestling stance like he's a sumo wrestler, and I'm just like, yo, come on now, what you trying to do? And then he's like, he's like, I'm a homeowner. I'm like, I said, this is not your house. I said, this is my house. Don't walk up to my house like you own it. I said, you don't know who we are. You don't know who I am. He goes, I'm a homeowner. I'm like, bro, that is the most whitest comeback I've ever heard. I ain't a homeowner. Cool. Cookies. Like, bro, I'm like, so I go, that's your home right there. That's your home. You run up to that house as however you want it. You treat that house how you want it. This house that I'm standing on is not your home. You do not own this home. So you do not have the right to come over here. I don't care if you're a homeowner down the street, up the street, or behind the block, or behind this house, or if you live right beside me. This house you don't own, so you cannot run up on this house. You live across the street. So then he's like, this is that. So then I'm like, yo, so what you trying to do? This is that. I said it again. So he goes, oh, let me go unarm myself or whatever, because he had a gun on him. So I'm like, bro, I ain't scared of your gun. Like I said, what you trying to do? And then he's like, my fault if I'm looking over here. The camera, like the thing flips out and it's over here, so I'll be like seeing what I look like. But I'm trying to get used to looking at it. But anyway, so he's like, let me go unarm myself and I'll come back. So I'm like, go ahead. Like I said, I ain't scared. So he walks over there and he's pointing at his wife like he's basically looking at his wife like, like, bro, I just wish that we had a girl old enough in this house that could fight, because we would have been knocked her old, fat, white out. Bro, she is fat and white. She's disgusting. She's Queen Karen, bro. She's in charge of the Karens, bro. Like, and him, he's Mr. Karen, bro. So I'm just like, mind you, he's running up on my house, so apparently my music was loud or whatever, even though, like, bro. So apparently my music was loud, so that's why he ran up to the house, because the music was loud. So after the police came and all that, so I had called my brother. And I'm like, yo, this dude, I don't know who this dude think he is, running up on my crib, this, that. My brother comes flying down the street. He as soon as he was out. So as soon as he got the call, he jumped in his car and flew down here. But the dude, by the time my brother got here, the dude left. So he knew it was up. The dude left. The dude left. He knew it was up. So by the time he got here, by the time my brother got here, the dude left. He took his truck. He was unloading all his weapons in the car. I didn't get a video of it because I was on FaceTime with my brother. But he was putting on his, but he had big AKs, knives, all that. He was putting them in his car. I guess he knew the police was coming, so he had to hide the weapons, and he took off. He didn't come back till like 10 p.m. at night. So this was happening at like 4 p.m. So he took off and left. And then I called my brother. My brother stormed out. I called my dad first, but my dad never answered. So I called my brother, and then that's when my brother stormed down here. And then my brother was like, yo, what's good? He was yelling at the wife who was sitting in the car. And he was like, yo, this is that. He was like, yeah, come on in there, you know. And then he was mad. Like, my brother was mad. And then, because, mind you, this dude, this grown man, when he came up to my brother, he was nice. He was like, because my brother's music, when my brother plays music in the car when he pulls in and it's loud or whatever, so what? So, when he pulled in, he walked up and he was like, he knocked on the window. He's like, excuse me, sir. He's like, excuse me, sir. Do you mind keeping the music down a little bit, because I work from home and, you know, it's kind of distracting. He was being all nice. So my brother was like, yeah. But when he came up to me, he was acting like he was hard. He was acting like he was hard, like, oh, yo, big boy. But he never did that to my brother. Like, come on now. He's soft. He's scared. And then, so the cops came, all this. Ain't nothing happened, because the cops was like, so there was this fat cop who we think is friends with the fat lady, because as soon as he got here, he walked straight up to the car and he had his gun out. He walked up to the car, had his gun out, and he was like, this is talking to her the whole time. He kept going back to her. But there was this tall, skinny cop who came up to us, and he felt, it was like he already knew what was happening. He was like, it's not that serious. He was like, he said he has neighbors who does the same thing when he's listening to music, so he obviously didn't care. But and then the cop came over here with his hand on his gun and stuff, had his gun out or whatever, and was trying to talk to us and ask us questions or whatever. And I was just like, yo, it's whatever. And then, so later, my dad comes home, and my dad was waiting in the car for 4 hours for this dude to come home. So when this dude came back home, my dad got out the car and walked over there, and the dude had an AR-15 around his chest. For those of you who don't know, that's a big gun. It was around his chest, and he had his hand on his handgun and his AR-15. So this dude is soft. He's soft. He's scared. He does not want to fight, nothing. Because when he walked up to my brother, he had a soft, excuse me, sir. He had one of those voices. And when he was talking to my dad, he had an AR-15 around his chest and his hand on a handgun. So, but when he came up to me, a 17-year-old, he came up to me and was like, oh, you want to fight? What do you want to do? Like, bro, you're not hard. You're soft. You're soft. Look at your wife. I'm not. You can tell they're racist Trump supporters, and I feel bad for his son, because his son would get beat up in school. But anywho, so my dad had walked up to him and was like, yo, don't ever come up to my house again, this, that. And his wife was over there recording, like as if talking about we're threatening him. But her husband has an AR-15 around his chest, a big gun, and his hand on a handgun. But my dad's threatening. Had no weapons. He had his work clothes on and walked over there and didn't have no weapons. It's like, bro, we're not scared of none of that in them guns. We've been around it. Not my sister. She ain't been around none of that. So she's, you know, if you pull a gun out on her, she'll be scared. But me, my brother, my dad, we used, back in Cali, we used to be around that. My dad was a rapper. He was in the gang, whatever. So we were around them guns. Like, we were in the hood. We don't live there anymore, but we grew out of the hood. Like, bro, I'm not scared of them guns. My brother's not scared of them guns. My dad's not scared of them guns. Like, bro, I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not scared of nobody. I fight people. I'm not scared. But anywho, so he had an AR-15 and a handgun. My dad was just like, it's whatever. And he was like, don't ever come over there, because if you come over there again, it'll be a problem, this, that. So he told him not to ever come over here, not to ever look at us, not to ever do nothing. And then he told me the same thing. He told me not to look at them, not to do nothing. And mind you, when we first moved in here, they had a problem. Like, when we first moved here a couple months ago, they had a problem with us. Like, they were already like having a problem. We never looked at them. We never worried about. We never cared about them. But the people, okay, the people straight across from us, we don't got a problem with. When we were shooting the fireworks, they were liking it. They were enjoying the show. They were like, thank you. His son was happy. But the house that I'm talking about now is like this. Here's my house. Here's their house. To the left of their house is the people who is the Karens who ran up to the crib and was all that. So yeah, that's really the story time. It ain't really nothing happened. We didn't fight, but I would have. Like, I'll put the video in. You can see for yourself the sounds and all that. I'll put the video in, but other than that, we didn't fight, like throw the hands fully. But if he would have stepped on the driveway, I would have swung on him and it would have got down there. But I'm pretty sure I already know how but just tell by how he looks, I already know how he's gonna fight. He walked up to me and got in his stance. He was like that's what he was trying to do, and I was just like squaring up, and I was like, bro, like, come on. He obviously didn't want to fight. He obviously didn't want to smoke. So that's that. But thank you if you got to the end of the video. Thank you. Thank y'all for, how many subscribers do I got? 250 now. But thank y'all for 250 subscribers. I wouldn't do it without y'all, but that's the end of that. If y'all want me to do more story times and stuff, just let me know. But yeah, if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Thank you all. I love you all. I'm out. Peace. You don't know what's good, what it means? Come on now. Be real. Walking up on my crib like that. Come on now. You don't know who I am?
You think this is the ghetto?
It's whatever it's gonna be. It ain't your neighborhood, is it? Nah. Don't walk up.
Actually, I'm a homeowner.
Cool. That's your home right there. This is not. Don't walk up on my crib like that. You don't know who we are.
Who are you?
You want to find out?
Yeah, I want to find out.
My neighborhood, my crib right here was good. That's what I thought. Keep walking that way. Don't mess with me. Come on now. You don't know who I am. My brother is or my dad. Don't mess with me. Wrong with you walking up in my crib like that, like you own something. Come on now. Be real.
Yeah, let me unarm and come over there.
Go ahead. You think I'm scared of that gun? Come on now. Come on now. Be real. Record this.
Oh, no.
Record this.
Why?
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Right here.
Come on.
Right here.
Throw your hands. You in a wrestling position like my nigga. Throw that hand. What's good? Come on now. You think this is a joke? I really do you dirt. Come on now. Be real. Come on now. You know who I am? You know who my brother is and my dad. Be real. Come in my.
Elijah.
Come back over here.
Elijah, just stop. Elijah.
Come back over here.
Elijah, stop. It's just a house. Like, don't
Come
worry.
on now. You don't own my house. Don't walk up over here. Walk back in the house.
Elijah, what is the...
This man got a gun in his hand, bruh.